Hey guys, in this lesson, we're going to focus in on the character and the emotions that he conveys. When I drew the character, I started out with a basic smirk, and as you can see, he just has this smile on his face as this deadly boulder is chasing him down this hill. And, well, quite frankly, that doesn't really fit what's going on here because, I don't know, if a boulder was chasing me, I think I'd be a little bit afraid and not so much smiling. And so that's what we'll be doing here. We'll change his expression, and then we'll throw in some close-ups to alter the expression as the sequence continues, to give it a bit more detail and variety. Now, another thing I'll point out here, in between this lesson and the previous one, I added some more detail to my cartoon. You'll see now that I have some trees in the background, and I just thought I would add, more detail, and I advise that you guys did the same, to go in and add some detail where you see fit. In order to do these trees, what I simply did was, I took the tree that I drew way back from the background tutorial, and I put it into the background, and then I drew a second tree with some variety. I then lined all these trees up side by side, and altered some of the sizes, and overlapped some, and since they're all symbols, I was able to color them with a black tint. And to do this, you simply just click on the symbol, go over to your Properties Inspector, choose the color effect to tint, and then set your color and how strong you want that tint. And that's all I did for that. If you double click and go into these symbols, you'll see that they are just the trees that I drew from before. So you can put those trees in the background if you choose, or if you chose to do something else, that's fine too. But I just thought I would point that out. Additionally, I increased the run speed of my character, and I mentioned this in the previous lesson, how the run speed might be a bit too slow, and so his legs were they were moving slower than they probably should have been. So I simply just decreased the frames, allowing him to run quicker. And that's all I did there. So that's what I've done between these two lessons, and again, that's completely up to you if you want to follow along with that, or you can open up my file and check out the changes for yourself. Anyway, the first thing we need to do now is go into the character and alter the head symbol to alter the facial expression, basically. So to do this, I will start at frame 1, so I'll just click so I'm on that keyframe on frame 1 on my timeline. I will scroll over to my character here and double click to go into the symbol. Now you'll remember when we did the running animation, we made two symbols here, two running symbol animations. And so what I have here right now is that running animation symbol. What I need to do is double click to go into that symbol. And now there's one more symbol we need to go into before we can alter the head. So just simply double click on the head to go into that symbol. This might seem a little bit complicated and maybe too complicated, but trust me, it helps organize things, especially when you're animating. Once you're inside the head symbol, we'll get rid of this smirk here and provide a more accurate expression. So the first thing I want to do is zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. So go over to your toolbar and click on the zoom tool, and make sure you have the plus enlarge option selected. Come over here to your head and just click a couple times to zoom in so we can see what we're doing. Now, go to your selection tool, come over to the head, click the mouth, and hit your delete key. This will get rid of the smirk. Now I want to draw in an open mouth, because since our character is running for his life, there's a pretty good chance he's probably breathing heavily, because running does that to a person. So, there are a few different ways we could do this. We could use the oval tool and create a half circle and go that route, or we can use the pencil tool and draw it freehand. I'm going to go with that option, but feel free to use whatever method you think is best. So I'll take the pencil tool, and I'm going to set my stroke color to black. And make sure my stroke height is set to 5, or whatever the stroke thickness is for your character that you've been using up to this point. So once I've done that, I will come over here to the face, and I'm going to draw a mouth like this. Starting at around here, and we can adjust this later on if we want, the position, I'm going to go down like this. Oh, I'm actually going to undo that really quick by going to Edit, Undo, because I forgot to set my pencil type to be smooth, and that's what I want. This catches a lot of people sometimes because they'll draw and it won't appear like they want it, but make sure you check that option before you start drawing. So anyway, coming back to my head, I'll simply draw a line down and then up and around like this and like that. Now it's a little bit squiggly. It looks like it's not all the way smooth. So I can take my selection tool, or I can click on the layer that I just drew the mouth on. And if we come down to the bottom of our toolbar with the mouth selected, we can adjust the smoothness or we can straighten it out depending on what we want to do. But if I click this smooth icon, you'll see as I click it, it starts to smooth the drawing out. Each time I click it, it does something different each time. Well, I don't want it that smooth, so I'm going to back up a little bit by just going to Edit, Undo, and then maybe one more time. And that looks pretty good right there. So if we click off, we can see that what our mouth looks like. Now the next step is to color the inside of the mouth. So to do this, I will take my line tool and make sure that the color is set to black and the stroke size is set to what we've been using. And then come over here to my mouth and just click and drag a line down like this. And then, taking my selection tool, I'll come back here to the mouth and simply just click and drag inward a little bit to put the line at a bit of a dip. And then take the paint bucket tool, set the fill color to black, or you could use red if you want the inside of your mouth to be red. And we can fill it in just like that. Now, if we want, we could add some teeth to this too. And so let's see how that looks by adding the teeth. I will undo the fill really quick by just going to Control Z, or we can go to Edit, Undo if you choose. And taking the line tool, we can now come in here and basically just add some teeth. So we could start right down here near the lip and go up and then over like such. And then we can do the same by starting right here and going over like that. And then we can take the paint bucket tool again, color in black, change the color then to white, and then color in the teeth to be white. And then we can eliminate these lines by taking the selection tool, then coming down here and simply clicking on the line and deleting it, and doing the same right here. And then we can simply do any mild corrections that we needed to like that. And I think it looks pretty good with teeth, so I'll probably leave it like that for right now. So that is how we change the facial expression for the mouth. And there's a little line right here I'm just going to click to get rid of. There we go. Now, another thing we can do too to change the expression is adjust the eyebrows. So if we come up here to the eyebrows and raise them and tilt them, we can give off more of a feared look in this character. So I'll take this first eyebrow by just selecting it with my selection tool and moving up and doing the same for the second eyebrow. And then if I want, I could take the free transform tool and move the eyebrow up like this. or rather like this. Sorry. And then you can do the same like this. Now, if you went the opposite way, like I just did, you would make him look like he's angry. But if you go like this, it kind of gives him more of a panicked look. And that is what we'll do there.